Now, does the ANC January 8 statement still hold its relevance in today's world? Well, the statement was originally used to mobilise ANC members in exile and locally to carry on the struggle. Political analyst Lukhona Mnguni joins us now. Mr. Mnguni, good to have you and good morning to you. That's the question we pose to our viewers. I'm posing to you again. Does this January 8 statement, this annual statement that we hear from the ANC president, still hold much relevance today?
Well, good morning, Tumelo, and your viewers. Certainly, it doesn't hold as much weight as it used to, and that's simply a function of how ANC members have changed, I think, their outlook of engagement with what comes from the leadership of the ANC. Over the years, I think, post-banning, the ANC has really been, dealing with a new culture around the January 8 statement, where the event is so glamorized and it is less about the content. People go to these cities or towns where the Jan 8 statement is held to go and show off their wealth, to show off their regalia, and just, create a vibe around the January 8. But if you drill into how they engage with the content, very few come out of that event knowing full well what is the theme. Every January 8 statement tends to have a theme for the year, which is meant to guide the ANC. And I think partly it's because, the ANC over the years, post-banning, has needed to position itself as a popular movement that can appeal to a broad cross-section of people around society. And that limits its ability to talk to its core constituency, which are the members. In exile, as you say, 1972, thereabout, when the first January 8 statement was issued by the leadership of then President O.R. Tambo, it was really more about galvanizing the liberation forces, both externally and internally in the underground, to make sure that they are adhering to the same program of action, that there's unity of purpose, and that ultimately everybody is head and shoulders above the rest, as they are seen as the torchbearers for liberation in our country. Of course, now the ANC is a party in government, and therefore people engage with it in different ways.
Right. I mean, the NEC member, Nomvula Mkonyane, was quoted in the bite that we played before our conversation that there's no such a thing as an SG issue. And it goes back to a conversation I had with ANC veteran Mr. Mavuso Msimang around, corruption and whether, ANC has work to do in terms of inspiring more confidence, amongst its voters and its members, as well as South Africans, as well as having to do a whole lot of work in proving that they are dealing with corruption, firstly within, their senior structures. Why is the ANC not seeing an SG issue? Why are they saying there's no such a thing as an SG issue? And not just isolating the SG, but the many other cases that we've seen around corruption where their members have been implicated.
Well, to a great degree, she might be right that it's not an SG issue, and that's because, exactly as you put it, she might be feeling that the SG is, unfairly being targeted. You know that the same person you are quoting, Nomvula Mkonyane, has her own allegations standing before the Commission of Inquiry into State Capture. So the problem that really the ANC is faced with is an organizational discipline and morality problem. It's beyond the individuals. You can remove the SG tomorrow. There will be other people whose conduct is not what people expect of a party, particularly one that is in government, a party that, prefers to relate to itself as a liberation movement that stood for all of that was right in terms of fighting for the liberation of people. So you will find in various spaces, Tumelo, whether it's in local government, whether it is in provincial government, right up to national government, deliberate misconduct by some within the organization, the impunity with which they treat society, the manner in which they do not want to account when called upon to account publicly or otherwise, all of that contributes to what appears as an ANC that has lost ability to enforce discipline among all its employees and all its rank and file. And therein lies the biggest challenge for the ANC. They often like saying it's just a few rotten apples that are, ruining the entire organization, I doubt it's just a few. The problem has become much more than individuals. It's organizational, and they need to adopt a clear path towards the renewal of the organization and not just only preach it as they have been doing over the last years.
Right. I mean, previously we've heard from the ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa speaking about unity. This year, what do you think should be top priority on his agenda come tonight when he makes that address? And also, how do you think he should sort of maneuver his speech in a way that will inspire relevance for the January 8th statement?
Well, I think I usually say the January 8th statement must always be an attempt by the president of the ANC to talk to members of the ANC primarily, and to marshal them towards being better human beings that represent the ANC in a manner that is seen as, ANC among society. And what do I mean by that? Just in the last few days, you may have seen, we are starting to see ANC leaders calling into question the developments around the COVID-19 vaccine in very worrying ways, in ways that induce conspiracy, in ways that lack truth and honesty in terms of what is happening, because people also want to appear as though they can also disagree with the establishment. You don't disagree with the establishment for the sake of disagreeing and inserting yourself so that your star can become popular. I think the first is really for the president to put down his foot and stamp his authority that all ANC members must support decisions that are taken by the National Executive Committee, because that is the highest decision-making body. They must support the efforts of their deployees in government, and they must, of course, robustly engage and continue to hold them accountable, but they must do so in a way that advances progress in the country, in a way that is truthful, and in a way that doesn't spread conspiracy. Because the president, Tumelo, will have an opportunity to speak to South Africans through the State of the Nation address, which is just probably over a month from now.
Right.
So the Gen 8 statement for the president should be focused in marshalling his troops inside the ANC towards the correct path.
All right, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for your time, political analyst Lukhona Mnguni.